What's up? Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk. They call me Lisa G. Lisa Gaylord Fitness, coming at you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was here every day, but I picked up a couple clients and gotta work. Gotta make some money. So I am here today. Just been feeling over the past 24 hours or so kind of off, kind of just more mentally and emotionally. A sequence of events that have actually been kind of like I've been dragging along for a while. So I figured that was like kind of a cool topic because it also relates to a lot of people right now that are going through a lot of stuff. Let's get everybody on here right now. Happy Wednesday, it's hump day. Yes, what's up, what's up, what's up? I see you guys. By the way, I have not abandoned spin. I'm just not like in my vibe, my groove yet. But I want to kind of throw it in there. I'm gonna figure it out. And I'm also working on leveling up my business. So I'm going to probably be taking on YouTube platform so that I can get this out there. That way I can get content onto my page and get you guys up to speed with all the workouts that I'm doing. I have a ton of 40 years of content that I want to get onto my platform. So we're building that out. Building out the workouts, building out the spinning classes, building out kickboxing classes. A lot of stuff is going on. And then we're going to be able to have like different channels that you guys can work from. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that you guys are getting value out of this. And if you are, watch, share this out for people that really just kind of like need to like, get some early morning motivation. For a lot of you guys, also, this time is a little late. I'm up super early, so I'm always looking for people. Good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl is cracking the code. You guys give me life. I can't even tell you. You guys, like, really, you guys, from the other side, you inspire me. You also keep me moving forward with what I'm doing. Given the opportunity, I think I've always been in a setting where I work for like a club, what we refer to kind of like a Globo gym, big chain gyms for a long time, forever. And there's always a subset of mental, like, it's almost like I think of it like a file cabinet. I have different file cabinets, and in those file cabinets I have this, it's kind of like the way I describe it, he's a little old man with white hair and a big mustache, and he looks exactly like Einstein, and he's sitting on a chair with wheels, and basically he rolls back and forth to different file cabinets. And I relate that to, sometimes I'm like, how's the little old man gonna help me out? How's Einstein gonna help me out? He's like going to a file cabinet. When I go to a gym and, they force you, obviously for, I guess for branding purposes, that you've got to wear this t-shirt or this logo, and the shirts are always ugly. The material is always gross. They don't give you like cool, like, real supple stuff. They just give you crap to wear, which is always like confusing to me. I'm like, we work hard on our bodies as fitness professionals, and then they give us the shittiest stuff to wear. I'm like, people don't get it. Like corporate level, once it goes to a certain level, like why I love certain brands, like really get me, like a Starbucks. You think of like a Starbucks and you go, oh, it's cool. Like somebody's got like cool, like it's cool and the logo's cool and what they wear is kind of cool and, it's all uniform. But for the most part, you go to these gyms and I'm like, why are the shirts so ugly, or the outfits, those shorts, or that? I'm like, ah. And they take your identity away. And as a fitness professional, what's up, Carol Scott? Funny that we're having this conversation and you pop up. But in a weird way that it's almost like a split personality, that you go to work or you go to teach for a club, and most fitness professionals are artists. They're they're performance artists, and for the most part. And my career has been entrenched with people that are really good at what they do at the highest level. And I've lived at that level for so long that it's almost like you're watching, I'm not putting in the same category, but if you understand the mindset of like, we're high level performers. We are Michael Jacksons and Beyoncés of our world. And then we go to these clubs where they're like, you gotta wear this, and you can't put your music and the temperature, and you can't do this, and you can't say this, and you can't, and you can't, and you can't, and you can't. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm fucking Beyonce over here. Fucking back the fuck up. And not relating it to member retention at all. Like, it's almost like I will call a lot of, in the industry, I call them plug and plays. And plug and plays, and you know who you are. You have your music and you're like watching everyone around you, and you're like 5 more, 3 more, 2 more, and you're like, the fuck kind of class is this? Like, and the rarity of having a performer, a person who teaches a class that you're just, wow. And there's no insurance, there's no benefit, there's no guarantee of your tenure, there's no insurance policies, there's no, here, how can we pay for your shoes or your clothes or your gas, or, we're in the car and you're driving. So in our world of fitness, and in my world, as I've progressed over time, and I look at like my friends who are personal trainers, and personal trainers are a dime a dozen, but then there are also, like us, performance artists that are amazing at what they do. And we look at the fitness industry sometimes like we look at our teachers, and how our business is taking care of you. Our business is taking care of your body. And for the most part, we become, really weirdly, we become your therapists and your doctors and your go-tos. And I think I know more about my clients and my students than their therapists and their their husbands and wives know. We become this place of like grounding. So part of what I do for a living is also I take on a lot of physical, mental weight from my clients, and I diffuse, never in favor. It's for consistency, conformity, control, so they don't need to worry about upsetting members, right? We're the ones that generate the money, but not given the compensation or benefits. Amen, Carol. Absolutely. Yeah, people don't realize, like, when you go to a club or you go to a class, I think a lot of times, and I've been in this situation so many times, my loyals know that I'm actually human. They know that I actually have feelings, and I'm sick, or I'm tired, or these shoes suck, or the outside world. And not to say we're performers. I've always thought of myself as an artist, as a physical performance artist. And when I walk into a room, my choreography or my music, which I pay for everything that I do, you know, from laptop and so forth, my companies never pay for anything. The only company that I would say, and it's Original Soul Cycle with Elizabeth and Julie, original owners, were so incredibly generous. I learned so much from them as one, female business owners and rocking smart business owners, and taking a concept like spinning that has been around forever, from Johnny Goldberg, and reinventing it, and then boom, like making a bazillion dollars. But they were business wise some of the most generous employers that I've ever had. And I mean, like, how to make your teacher a rock star. And the opposite happens in our industry is they try to suppress us as voices, as teachers. People don't really see the backside of what we go through in working with big name companies. And it's unfortunate, living this life and living a life of an empath. We're caretakers. For the most part, anyone that I've ever met that's in this industry is a caretaker. And you know, we love our students, so we become addicted to them as they become addicted to us, and we want to help. You know, like, I don't see the strong fit people. I see the girls in the back or the guys in the back that are like overweight, out of shape, and completely lost. Those are my babies. Those are the ones that make me do what I do. I never look like I never feel ever like, oh, I'm better than you and I'm hot. And there are a lot of instructors out there that teach that way. They're like, I don't even see anybody in the room. I come in, I put my music on, and it's like a strip show. I'm like, no. Like, a performance, yes. But anyway, I digress. So we get very, 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 very dedicated and entrenched into what we do. And trying to rise above and reinvent is very hard also. Again, I've been in situations where that one member who has just, you know, lit a fire because it's too hot or it's too cold or it's too loud, or like, will ruin an entire room full of people. So if you guys are out there, give love to your instructors. You know, paying it forward to your instructor, your teacher that, you know, really puts a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of concept into what we do, and creating this environment, this physical like wall, like, you know, why are you always in a good mood? I'm just not. Like, I'm super duper human. And, you know, when the camera's off and the behind the scenes and the day goes on, you know, there's a lot to who I am and what we do. And for all the fitness instructors that are out there, you know, God bless you. You know, and I don't mean God, I mean, like, whew, like, my heart is for the instructors that are out there that are grinding it out and working through a time like this. My first reaction to COVID-19, once I realized that the gyms were shutting down, because I knew that there was this thing that was going to happen, and it was happening, my brain just went into override, and I was like, I have to take care of my students. I have to take care of my followers that, you know, want to work out with me. And what do I do? Where do I go? Gym's closing. Uh-oh. So where do we go? We go to the park. Nobody wants to go outside. We got to go inside. And I just turned on my camera, and I knew that was going to change the way, the landscape of our life. And So now I'm transitioning as well into the next level and the next platform. What's the next platform for me is to go to YouTube and live streaming YouTube and other avenues that can get my content out. So I want to share that with you, and I want to share the process with you guys. I think that Zoom is amazing, and I think for the people that are using Zoom, it's amazing, but I also find the limitations of Zoom, and I think there's a little bit of a mental firewall with Zoom, because when I tell people, oh, we're going to Zoom, I'm like, what do we do? What's the number? And, now COVID has actually taught everybody, you can Zoom and you're okay. You're not, it's not weird, it's not an odd thing, but being able to go on Zoom gives me a level of privacy. As I'm doing Facebook Live right now, I see you guys coming on and I can read your comments, but I don't really know who's watching and I can't edit who's watching. So I'm kind of freestyling right now, obviously. There's no script. I can say what I want, but I also am creating a platform for you guys. So what today was all about was, what do we do when you're basically like, I just don't feel it and I don't feel like doing it. And so I wanted to share with you one of the things that I've always been able to cling to, and one of the most important things that I've been able to cling to and reference. And again, I talk a lot on this, on Coffee Talk about, my experiences and motivation and how do I get you guys like where you need to be, and if it's depression or anxiety or confusion over, just the simple things like working out. Like, okay, now we're all out of the gym for the most part. Some of us have gone back to the gym. Some of us just are not ready to go back, and or just physically not able to because of health conditions, or you're living with other people with health conditions and the exposure. And there's still a lot of knuckleheads that are out there that are just like not doing the mask thing, and I don't get it. I'm super confused, but that's kind of like we're living in a really weird time, and I think that's also a lot of this political dark clouds that are around us are also creating almost like an invisible depression. And when I talk about depression, because I do know people that are living with depression, but I also think that there are a lot of people that use depression as a crutch to find a way of just not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I look at it like there has become this subculture of, I'm depressed, I'm going to stay home, and I don't want to do it because I'm depressed. I'm like, pretty sure that a lot of us are depressed too, but we've got to do what we've got to do. I think of the many, 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 many times that I have not wanted to teach, but that's my job. And to go on, go on stage or perform when you just don't feel like doing it, there's a switch inside of me that also reflects back to my mom, working 3 jobs and not having that ability to, turn it on. I'm having a bad day. Have a bad day and go do what you've got to do and get it done and deal with that anxiety, compartmentalize and go and deal with it. Hold on, glasses. PTSD rears its ugly head in my world. Yeah. I think, again, clinical diagnoses of certain mental things are also, I think our medical community also freaks us out a lot. I think that a lot of people have a lot of things. I know for a fact there are certain people that I've worked with and I've dealt with that you know, little things become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I use a term sometimes and I say, don't become your injury. Don't become your injury. And for the most part, there are a lot of people that are dealing with stuff that have made their thing a lot bigger as a safety net, as a way of protecting themselves from doing things that they need to do instead of pushing through. And I know because I've been there, and I know because I have my own, where I want to wake up and just go, no, close the windows, shut the doors, close the blinds, and sleep all day. And when that happens, I also recognize that I need to look at it. I need to look at it. I need to recognize it. And if for the most part I've developed a pattern of being able to open talk instead of jumping back in my head and saying, having a conversation in quiet and allowing that conversation to get bigger and bigger and bigger and feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it, I shift into what can I do right now that would shift my mindset? Can I play music, or can I watch a funny TV show? Can I go for a walk? And for me, it can be, go ride my motorcycle or go ride my bike, or trying to shift out of allowing that big, like, there's a, I think it's like a lake, it's like an abyss somewhere. I'll figure out what it is. And it's really weird to watch. They've done drones over it where you can't see it from like a walking level, but if you drone over it, it's like this lake that just goes into a black hole. And I always get the worst anxiety when I watch that or something like that. Like nauseous almost, like, oh. But it's actually a dam, it's protected, you can't go around. And then I worry about the animals that fall in it, and then I have that anxiety, and I try to walk myself back from all of that and go, and that's another thing for me is like animals. Just recently in my neighborhood, I saw 2 little dogs with collars running across the highway and into like the neighborhood, and I'm like disabled. I'm like mentally disabled, and I my throat gets tight, my stomach gets tight, and I go through that like, oh my God, I have to go save this animal. And then I'm like, I'd probably be doing that all day long. If I had a choice in life to do something else, that's what I'd be doing. Literally. Cats, dogs, like, they're everywhere. And it seems like that happens to me, and then I'm like, I can't go around saving every freaking animal. And I know from experience, going after that little dog, he's gonna run and run and run and run and run and run and run. I'm like, it's futile. It's just futile. Like, he's got a tag, somebody's gonna grab him, he's gonna be okay. Kind of like that, right? Laura, the problem is that clinical depression, you feel heavy. Your body wants you to sleep, and it's really hard to pull yourself out of it. However, exercise is a good way to prevent it and build that serotonin. Yeah, exactly. Dory, that's how I got my cat. Saved him from the middle of a busy intersection. Yeah, me too. I like the saying, I make my habits, and then my habits make me. Yeah, if I take a couple days off, I feel an energy shift. Yeah. And then I remind myself of my long-term goals. Right. Yeah, Marie, I'm with you. Yeah, Marie, I'm totally with you. That's how I got 4 cats. Yeah, exactly. I got a cat one time years ago. Her name was Blue. She was about, I would say, just weeks old. Maybe she's just baby. She was just like in the palm of my hand. And I was going down the street, and it was in a median strip, and I saw her, And as I went one way, another car was going the other way, and we both stopped at the same spot, and obviously another chick. And we both get out and look at each other, and I go, "Do you want it?" "No, no, no, you take it." "No, no, no, you take it." So we had this exchange of, she's like, "I really can't take it, but I'll take it to give to somebody." I go, "Well, me too. I can't take it either, but I ended up taking her." And she was covered. I mean, she was like a mixed white cat, and she had one blue eye, but because she was covered in fleas, like she was part black, she was covered in fleas, and she was a disaster. I just picked her up with I pinched her in my fingers, and I put her in a t-shirt, and I went to my vet, and I was like, "Do something with this." I did it funny. It was funny. And so they were like, "Well, take it home and clean it and bring it back, and we'll give it injections, and all is good." So I had Blue for whatever, a period of time. And one day my dog had her in the scruff of her mouth and in her neck, walking across my apartment at the time, and I'm like, that's not gonna work. Yeah, so my neighbors wanted her anyway, so Blue went to the neighbors. That's that. But let's talk again, because I love where you went, Marie, because that's kind of like my formula. And I think there are a lot of people. We're a lot alike as humans. We're a lot alike, and I think it's okay to talk about having down days, because remember, like a roller coaster, there's a down, there's an up, and not every day will be all down. So if today is my down, I'm going to do some self-preservation today. Laura, sorry, I got to put glasses on, you guys. My mom used to tell me she was always afraid of letting me play outside in fear of what animal I'd bring home to save. Yeah. My house was not that house. My house was the whatever animal we found, we just brought it home and we took care of it, because that's just really what we did. We had hamsters and gerbils and snakes. Well, I didn't have snakes. My brother had snakes. Ugh. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know there are people out there that love snakes and reptiles and all that, and I dig it, because I love all animals. I even love snakes. Not as a pet. Like, I like my pets to sleep with me. I do. I'm that girl. Like, yeah. Cool. But a snake, it lives in a tank. Like, it doesn't have a life. Like, why are you keeping lizards? Like, put them outside. They belong outside in the tree. Like birds. And my sister has a bird. I'm like, let that thing go. It belongs outside. Feed it, but let it go. Just saying. Yeah, anyway. If you're having a bad day, let's build your bad day muscles, right? If you're having a bad day, let's build bad day muscles, and let's build up a talk list, a platform of being able to get off of that. And what does that look like? And we're probably having more of those bad days than we care to. I'm actually not. I'm actually having my best life and the best time that I've actually had in a long time. And a lot of it has to do with my relationship with my family, my relationship with my sister, my relationship with my business, my relationship with the world, and coming to a place where I've done the work. Like, I've really done the work, and now it's paying off, and now I'm being able to give it back, and it makes me really super happy. Yeah. Bad thoughts are also habits. I agree. I agree 1000%. I was talking to someone the other day about a story, and I hope you guys will appreciate this. It was an article that was written by a guy that I follow, Dr. Peter Attia. I need glasses, sorry guys. And he was writing about Robin Williams, and what he was saying about Robin Williams was pretty interesting. It was actually an article that his wife had written long after he passed, and she was saying the things that I never knew. Like, I never knew what the reality of what he was going through. But he had Lewy body disease, and Lewy body is an Alzheimer. It's an aggressive Alzheimer. He was diagnosed in 2016, and 2 years later he took his life. But the progression was that he could remember, 500-line movies without even, reading it once. And he went from that to not remembering one line. So he'd also started to get tremors, and there was a lot going on in his life. So in Lewy body and Alzheimer's, and that's what this bracelet is. A couple of people have asked me about my bracelet. This is from a company called Lokai. It's Lokai. And this is in reference to Alzheimer's and dementia. So if what we're looking at also is the longevity of our thoughts and where we might be able to turn back the hands of time, when we eat well and we train our body on a consistent basis, I believe that our mental, we're opening that pathway for regeneration in the brain. It's not just one hormone, but it's all of our hormones, and all playing a balance in our role as humans to move. One of the first things I tell you guys is, if you don't work out, just go for a walk. Just go for a walk. Work on 1 mile. Work on that mile. Just go outside. There's this indoor thing with air conditioning is sometimes the worst place you can be with a mental health issue, or a mental health like a little And I know when I go outside, like, I try to spend every day, as whenever I can, if it's not raining, I go outside in my little short shorts and I get like 10 minutes. I can't really last longer than that, but I get 10 minutes of sun. And I'm like, good. Like, I feel like good. I feel like it rejuvenates my, like, the concept being behind the computer. I research all day long. I have lists, I have books, I have things that are like on and on and on and on and on and on. And I could just be in here all day long. And then I start to feel that marshmallow, like, start to, like, The Blob. You guys remember that movie? If you're old enough and you remember that movie, right? But I start to feel it, like, kind of come in and start to close in on me, like, I need to breathe. And I go outside and I get some sun, and then I feel good, and then I'm like, woo, all right. And I try to go barefoot as much as I can, or, my sandals, or going outside and laying under the tree and talking to the tree. And I know that sounds weird and it's a little ching, but it's super cool. Like, I've always felt that nature communicates to me. Now, if you feel that that's weird, that's cool. I get it. I totally get it, because I'm not that, like, ding ding kind of person. And I know a lot of people out there that are totally like ding ding with the universe, and I'm like, no, that's weird. You're weird. That's cool. But I dig it. But I also feel a sense of the trees and the grass and the lizards and the frogs and the ants and the bugs and the birds, and we're all kind of connected. And when we're inside of our house too long, we're like immune to that. And that's really more us than not us. I have friends, sort of friends. I have acquaintances that are anti-outdoor. like anti-outdoor, like afraid of bugs. And listen, nobody likes roaches. I get it, but they are so anti. And I also, like, I know the character of a person when I go, hey, want to go camping? And I watch their face just melt, like I'm speaking a different language. And then they start to freak out, like, oh my god, where am I gonna poop, where am I gonna pee, how am I gonna, like, brush my teeth? And I'm like, wow, just fucking wow. Yeah. How do we sleep? What if people come in from the, they're gonna get us? And I'm like, oh my god. Thank my father every day for taking us camping when we were little. Thank the YMCA where I grew up and was raised by the YMCA, that we went camping like every weekend. It was me and like 10 guys. And I say guys like boys, but cheers, good morning. Magnesium. Lifesaver. Lifesaver. More than anything, magnesium in my life is a game changer. What up? Camping is awesome. Yeah, nature does communicate with us because we share it, right? Yeah, the blob, right? Remember the blob? When you're outside, I think you should really think about calm. Yeah. Actually, no. Remember, I showed you guys this last week. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got these because they're easy to take. Now they're stuck. They're tablets. They're fizzy tablets. So I take that. And I take my zinc. It's C with zinc. And that's like every day, all day. Pretty much. Get them on Amazon. I'm building out my Amazon channel right now. My affiliate channel. So you guys can... everything that I have, that I do, see, touch, use, whatever, eat especially, you guys will be able to get on my Amazon affiliate account. Super excited about that. But I will say I will be really happy to camp with a toilet, or at least camping toilet. Yeah. They're like, I've been camping for years. I'm actually transitioning now over the next couple of years, going to van life. I'm doing all that research because part of what I've wanted to do in my, I say my retirement, but I'll never retire. I'll continue doing what I do at a different level. And this has to do with, like, this is a really key piece of information. For the days that I'm down, I always have a carrot, and I hope this resonates with you guys. One of the things that I do with my clients, I talk about, what's your carrot? What's in front of you that you're looking forward to? And I think so many of us don't have carrots, so we get depressed because we're in a void. We're in a, in a place of like, I got nothing, I'm not doing anything. You've not attached yourself to a future value. And I'm totally against this book. I read it. I sort of read it. I actually hated it. I'm probably the only people I know that, like, I've never heard one person admit that they hate this book, but it's called Power of Now. This guy, Eckhart Tolle. I'm like, the fuck? Like, no. I love thinking about the future. I love thinking about what's to come. I love thinking about what's going on in my life that I'm looking forward to. I get totally excited about, oh, I can't wait for racing season, so I'm going to train now. And I put my goals in front of me, almost like the ladder that I'm climbing. Like, what am I looking forward to? And what's next? Or what research project can I get on that's going to help and benefit my students, my followers, the people that are listening to me that are all over the country. You guys are from all over the place. And I get comments all day long. Tell me what to eat. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to change. How do I lose body fat? I'm in menopause. What do I do? I have diabetes. I have this. I have that. And I'm like, listen, this is what I want you to do. Part of it is, what's your carrot? What are you doing with your life? Have you gotten to a place in your life where you're like, that's it. I'm old. I'm done. And so many people that I work with are there. They're like, I'm just done. And it sounds something like, I went to college and I got a job and I met the guy and I had the kids and they moved out and I'm living somewhere and I gained 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds and I'm working the same job and I'm retiring and now I'm a grandma and I'm just living this like, and that's cool if that makes you happy. But so many people are just living this. Actually, it's the exact same life that I've seen people do over and over. And like, it's like, how many people do I know that live that life? That's why I can say it like that. Like, it's so weird. It's like, why do you want to live exactly the same way as all these other people? And we know the ending. We already know the ending of that story. You wake up, my hips don't work, my shoulders doesn't work, my back doesn't work. I gain a bunch of weight. Now I'm all medicated, and I can't chase the grandkids, and I got this disease and that disease, and I can't work out. My knees don't work, my back doesn't work, and you're like 60, and I'm like, fuck, really? That's how you want to go down? Cool. But don't come back to me at that spot. No, I'm not saying it like don't come back to me. I'm saying like get it together. Like, change your life, change your pattern. What do you want to do? I've always wanted to do fill in the blank. And let's go after it. Coffee talk today. What do you do when you're just not feeling it? Start thinking about your carrot. What's your carrot? What do you have to look forward to? I don't know, Lisa. I don't know. Really? Now more than ever, with the internet, my laptop is right here. My phone, I'm talking to you guys. I have the ability to search and dream. I think a lot of us don't dream enough. Another way to get over a lack of motivation is to sign up for a group. Bring people into your life. Yeah, like our group. Join in a group like Mindset Reset. Thank you, Marie. That's Mindset Reset. Mindset Reset is a group of people that we've created that are so crazy, motivating, and delicious and warm. Life is suffering, just have to find a meaning. Life is suffering. Now, I don't agree with that because I don't suffer. I think that it's a very, very Buddhist mentality. When you're constantly desiring, I want, not as a dream, but not as a carrot that I'm looking forward to, and I want to learn, and I want to go, and I want to experience I want to experience my country. I want to experience the US. I've been all over the world, but I've not really spent a lot of time. I've spent more time outside of the US than inside of US. So getting in a van, like not a van, not like a creepy van, but a build out, and go cross country and have no agenda and stop. And as long as I have a computer and Wi-Fi and I can communicate with all of you, super happy. And doing that now rather than later. And that was always my dream, and that was something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna make it happen. And by vocalizing it, also I bring it into fruition. I make that happen.
So we want to think about, oh, I want a bigger house or I want a bigger car. When it becomes materialistic, that's when we suffer. We suffer because we compare. Oh, look what they have. Oh, look how they look. That's the Instagram like freak out. And I think a lot of depression comes from social media. Comparing. Stop. Right? Nobody's me. Nobody's me. Like, are you judging me because of the car I drive? Are you judging me because of where I live? Are you judging me because, really? Go look at yourself, and we can look at the people that are out there that, and I know personally people that have lost everything. They were shopping in the finest stores, spending for the exact same shoe that you can get at Payless for $20. The shoe looks exactly the same for $2,000. And I'm like, I don't get that. Asheville? Yeah, baby. Fuck yeah. I don't get that. Like, overpaying for things that just... Nobody's looking at your feet, bitch. Nobody's looking at your fucking feet. They're just not, right? You're just not. So I want you guys to start thinking about what's your carrot, what's your future, and not attaching it to your person or your children, but what do you want? I want to read these books. All right, let's make that happen. I want to go travel here. All right, let's make that happen. Not a lot of us are traveling right now, which is also kind of, it's bubbling up in a lot of us. It's bubbling up inside of us that I want to go. I want to go to New York, but I really don't want to go to New York. I want to go to certain places, but I really don't want to travel. I'm like, my mindset. We've been doing what we do for so long. You're like, I want to go. I want to jump on a plane. And then you're like, not really. I don't really want to travel because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to expose myself. But taking this time to be able to say, if you've got internet, I don't know why you guys aren't reinventing yourself. If you've got internet, if you've got access to internet, why are you not crushing your projects? Why are you not learning how to play the goddamn guitar? Why are you not learning how to create something? Because when this all passes, and it will, because it always does, because that's just how human nature is. I remember 9/11. I was destroyed, like everyone, destroyed, like immobile. And my primordial brain was like, oh my God, the sky is falling. And everybody went back to work the next day. Like, everything keeps moving. I play guitar, yay! And you know what's cool, Dory? If I were to say it this way, if you play guitar, teach guitar. If you have something that you do, you should be online teaching it. You should be showing other people what you do. There is no greater medicine, mental medicine, that you could give yourself than giving it away. Giving it away and teaching others your skill set is invaluable to your mental health. Because when I give, the more I give, the better I feel. I didn't want to do coffee talk today, but at 9:48, I'm out of my bubble because I'm giving you guys, hopefully, some love and inspiration and some, we are kindred. So many of us are kindred. So many of us are relying on, and I hate feeling like, hey, I don't need validation from you, but it feels good when the people that I care about validate me, and you guys need the same. You need a carrot, and you need camaraderie. Camaraderie is very rare, and I feel like people they hold back that camaraderie. We as women also need to be like, hey, high five each other. great job, babe, you look amazing. I love, because I never feel like, I don't think I'm ugly, but I just don't feel like I'm the pretty girl in the room. And when I see a pretty girl that has like zero self-esteem, I'm like, who did that to you? And I want to go and hug you and go, you go, girl, you fucking look amazing. Jesus Christ, you go, look at those legs. And I have no problem doing that. Or some guy who's like, you know, I can tell that he's a little chubby. He's a little chubby. I did it the other day. We were working out and the guy was like dying. We were running around the block and I could hear him and he was in front of me. And I was like, this guy needs some love right now. And I walked up behind him and I put my hand right on his back and I didn't say a word. And I just kind of pushed him a little bit. And he was like, oh my God, thank you. I would have never done this without you. And I'm like, I got you, bro. And then after the workout, he's like high-fived. He come over and he was all happy face. And I'm like, sometimes we just need a little hand on your back to kind of, let's go. I got you. And I find that so many people in the world right now are just so reluctant to reach out and help each other. Just a little bit. Just a like high five. Just like a, hey, by the way, you look great. Don't keep that inside. Don't keep that shit inside. Share that shit. Share that shit. Share that fucking shit. Because there's somebody that's walking around you that's depressed. And they don't have a carrot. And they don't have access to me. Just kidding. Ha. And you should share me with them as well. And be able to say, hey, listen, wow, I love, oh my God, your eyes are beautiful. Yeah, I agree. Laura, kick it. Oh my God, I love your skin. You're so pretty. I tell people all the time, I'm like, especially with the grocery store, I have like, what's the word? I have like an affinity. That's not the word. I have like with, like, I see these girls at, because it's usually girls at the cash register and guys, like at Publix, like at the grocery store, and they're like all in their world, and I'm like, you're so pretty. Just tell me you're not gonna work here very long, right? Because you're so pretty. Like, what do you do? I love to talk to people. I love to take them off their game. Like this whole Publix thing is not you. Who are you? And then they're all bright and cheery and woo. I walked up to a bag boy the other day, and his energy was ridiculous. He was so nice and so like, I'm like, you're gonna own a company one day really soon. He goes, yeah, but I don't know what I want to do. I want to go like work at a hotel in hospitality. I was like, oh no. You're going to get a YouTube channel, and you're going to turn on the camera, and you're going to talk to people, and you're going to make your fabulousness go out into the world, because we need people like you. And I go, how old are you? He's like, 14. I'm like, ugh. I go, please don't let the world eat you alive, please, because they did it to me. Don't let it. But I fight back. I fight back. Lisa, how old are you? I'm 57. How is that possible? Because I do my thing and I have carrots and I'm looking forward to life. I'm looking forward to living a long, healthy, productive life. And I want to share that with my friends, and I want to share that with the people that follow me. And I want to share with you guys that, hey, you know, there's so much beauty out there. Don't let that person who cut you off control your day. Don't let that person that is just rude control your day. Don't let those people around you that tell you shitty shit control your day. Because the people that are around you that say shitty shit and do shitty shit things, like, they need Lisa. They need this. They need like a punch in the face and go, hey, who ate your lunch? Somebody ate your lunch and pissed you off, right? I'm just telling you guys because somebody told me one time some story about they work in a building with people. I've never worked like that. I've never worked like cubicle kind of like that. And I love you guys that do. I can't. I just can't. You can't put baby in a corner. Anyway, can't put baby in a cubicle. But she was all messed up because she said, somebody ate my lunch. And I was like, so confused. I was like, what do you mean they ate your lunch? They ate my lunch. They went into the break room, opened the refrigerator with my bag with my name on it, and ate my lunch. That's why I can't work corporate. I can't. Like, I can't conform and keep my mouth shut when people do stupid shit. I was raised by a Marine with a mouth and an attitude. And when people do stupid shit, I have to have consultations with them. You stole my lunch from a break room in a bag with my name on it? Wow. It's time to change your environment. What's up? What's up? I would have never guessed. Sharon, not. I know. I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, I was raised by a Marine that had a mouth. And the church lady. My mom was not conservative like that, though. My mom was super hip and cool. As a matter of fact, my mom used to go to the disco. I said disco. Like, when we were young, and we turn around and there'd be my mom. My mom was the biggest fag hag. If that offends anybody, you're just way too young and should not be on this. But my mom was the biggest fag hag ever. And she hung out with every gay guy that was my friend. And I'd turn around, and there's my mom dancing with us. I'm like, they're like, your mom is so cool. I'm like, she's my mother. Why is she here? Because she's fabulous. And then I just went, okay, all right, there you go. It wasn't like I was doing anything, but it's like, you know, when your mom shows up to the place that you party at, you're like, should I be concerned? And my mother would look at me like, you go do your thing. I'm doing my thing. I have nothing to do with you right now. So you want to dance, you dance. I'm like, she stole my friends. Is your mom coming out? I'm like, this can't be happening. That happened. And then it just kind of like faded out. My mom was like, no, I'm not going to go out. I'm going to go with my own friends. I'm like, thank God. And then I got my friends back, and they're like, is your mom coming? Like, yeah. My mom was the cool mom. My mom was, she busted her ass. She worked her ass off. I never remember my mom not working, ever. Which created 3 children that do the same thing. And my dad was super brainy and like just ridiculous. Mensa. My sister's Mensa also, like super brainy, like what? And I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of that and a little bit of like whatever, but that people have the rocks to do stuff like what? I will have to listen later while I'm working. Rocks. I want to be that mom. Be that mom. One of the things I'm most excited about in being a mom to my daughter is that I get to open her eyes to the world. Yeah. And teach her alternative ways of thinking. I'm so excited. Yeah. Your glasses are clean. No, they're not. It's like every time I turn around, it's like, hey, listen, like these are like $2 glasses and I have them in every color. They're just reading glasses. Guys, 9:59, and I have not put the workout up. I'm not doing it. I'm just super like in like a really heady kind of mood. But give me 2 minutes. I'm that mom. Hang with kids all the time. Yeah. Of course you are, Dawn. Dawn Shaw. Listen, for my moms out there, let me share with you. If you guys don't already know, this is it. I hope this story resonates with you guys. I hope no one's offended. If you're just like a little snowflake, time to go. But I came out when I was 15. My first girlfriend, which back then was weird because we didn't have all this gay pride bullshit, like woohoo, like it didn't exist. And there was no way for me to be like, I couldn't, you just didn't have, there was no one to turn to go, none of this makes sense, some of this makes sense, but who do I talk? We didn't have any of that. And I came out to my dad and I said, look, my dad was like, first words out of his mouth back then was, as long as you're happy. And I was like, yeah, I get it now. And I like boys and I like girls, so I didn't have any of that, like, all this bullshit, like, pan crap, like, that's just crap. It's like, this is me, like, this is how I feel. That's not making it up, this is how I feel. And I said the one thing that was bothering me more than anything was how to tell my mom. I didn't want to disappoint her. I didn't want to hurt her. And my dad was like, don't worry, I'll tell her. And then the next morning, I woke up, she walked down the hall, and this is so personal, you guys. I never talk about this. And she just looked at me, spread her arms, and hugged me. And she said, listen, I just want you to not be out in the street in a car, you know, with your girlfriend. And I was like, ugh. She goes, I want you to be in the house. Bring her here. And that was that. Not another word was talked about. And even when I would bring, like, boyfriends home, she was like, oh, hey, how's it going? Are you hungry? Like, best parents ever. They didn't give a shit. They were like, whatever. You happy? Great. Let's go. Is this person an axe murderer? Could be a problem. So, parents, you guys that have kids. Oh, and another thing. Stop dressing your tomboys in tutus. That's my book. Tomboy in a tutu. Because it's so aggravating that you don't realize that your kids know what they like. And you dress them for you is not okay. And at a certain point, kids I like what I liked. I remember as a little kid, like, why am I wearing this skirt dress thing is freaking me out. Just freaking me out. So let your kids be who they are. And that's a whole other topic. Guys, I'm going to jump out of here. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I just shared a lot today. I love you as always. Like, share, comment. Mindset Reset, $99, best program ever. Get a one-on-one talk with me. Share this out with your friends. Get a watch party going. I love you guys. Hey, by the way, hang out. 2 minutes. I'm going to post up your workout. I'm going to go through it. Give you big love. Guys, I'll be out. Woo.